Hello everybody, welcome to the Steckline Report. Well, I tell you what, we're keeping our eyes on the folks in Disneyland East, more commonly known as Washington, D.C. to some, because they're working hard on cutting the budget, and agriculture is at the top of the scene when they talk about cutting budgets for some reason, as we have mentioned to you before. But I got to tell you right quickly, the House has spared farm subsidies in a bill that they passed recently, and looks like we have a different attitude for the folks from the one side of the hill to the other, which is not unusual. But the House passed a food and farm spending bill that would make deep cuts in food aid, not only at home but abroad as well. It provides $17.3 billion for day-to-day operations for the Ag Department and the Food and Drug Administration. It would cut the Women, Infants, and Children's program, offering food aid and education support for low-income mothers and their children by about 13%. An international food program would be cut pretty good. The bill would trim the FDA's budget by some $2.5 million. And the Republican bill is harmful, ineffective, and plays politics with our children's health. That's according to George Miller, Democrat from California. The Republicans pretty much passed this bill in the House, and we'll have to see where it goes. Probably nowhere. It's got a long ways to go before it becomes a reality. In the meantime, a couple of things. We'll keep our eyes posted there. The latest that we hear is that they're going to go after the direct payments pretty hard, and so those could be in big jeopardy, as I have predicted for the past several weeks. In the meantime, land prices, we're kind of keeping our eye on those. Boy, they've grown a bunch in the last 12 to 24 months, haven't they? Well, there's one guy at Creighton University, his name's Dr. Ernie Goss, that thinks some of the air may be slipping out of the farmland market. He makes that observation after looking at an Rural Main Street Index. It's called RMI. That's conducted monthly, and it brings up a pretty good point. Supposedly, it surveys ag bankers across the Midwest, including Colorado to Illinois, North Dakota to Kansas, and this index has now dropped to 62. Down from May's 75 and April 77, and a year ago was at 54.7. So it does look like we're beginning to see some of the air exiting the farmland price bubble, he says, and in my judgment, this isn't a bad outcome. A significant upturn in the value of the dollar stemming from the European debt crisis could drive the dollar higher and ag commodity prices lower. No doubt that that is a possibility, but right now I still see the whole program of agricultural prices hanging in there strong for the next 12 months. A lot of people have been asking me what I did with my wheat. Well, I can tell you what I did. When the last load went in, I went to the office and sold it all. It was around $8.45 a bushel. That doesn't mean I think that's as high as it's going to get. I was just happy with that amount, thinking that I think I can make her work. Now, if it goes to $10 or $12 a bushel, I'm going to sell some more of next year's crop. In the meantime, I'm pretty happy with the $8.45, and we'll get on down the road. What about cattle prices? Boy, they come back some, and we've got some pretty good news concerning those cattle prices. We had a USDA report that showed on feed June 1 up 4%. Everybody thought it'd be around 6. Placements down about 11. Everybody thought it'd be down about 7 or 8. So and marketings were up 7% compared to the trade guess of 3%. So we sold more, placed less, and had less on feed. Looks like our cattle guys are pretty good hands. Hope they are. We do have some problems around the country with drought, and I'm wondering what that's going to do to the feeder cattle market and the calf market here in the next several weeks and months. It will affect this entire system some. How much some? We'll just have to wait and see. Hey, that's it for us on the Steckline Report. Thanks for being with us. See you next time around.